Does that go now? Hi, my name is Tom Palermo, and I guess I'm going to tell you about my float experience, float journey, uh, for consideration for your documentary. So I've always had back problems since I think it's the first time I threw my back out. I was 18. I was working at a gas station. I was changing tires on a car, flipped the tire up, threw my back out, went to a chiropractor, got an adjustment or two. I was fine. Uh, Later on in my 20s, simple little things like brushing my teeth, I would throw my back out. So now I'm 48 years old, and my back has been going out a lot more frequently, and the recovery time has been a lot longer. The situation that caused me to find floating was July of 2015. I was putting down a floor, stood up off the floor, doing some different projects. Stood up and my back went out. It was on July 3rd. I know that because we were getting the house ready for a party on 4th of July. So July 3rd quickly became September, and I had no relief. I went to a chiropractor, I went to physical therapy. Because I have a decent family history of addiction, I don't like to take any painkillers or muscle relaxers or anything like that. But I was in pretty severe agony. I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, I couldn't lay. There was just no way to get any relief. So my wife found a place, a float center nearby, and I was willing to try anything just to get some relief. So I went up there, kind of had a somewhat open mind. That's really not my thing, is not really open to alternative things. I tried acupuncture one time and had a horrible experience with that. It made everything worse. So I can't say that I've had a very open mind to things. But I went to the float center about 30-40 miles away from our house, and I went up there and I had a good night's sleep. I got a little bit of relief. Certainly didn't cure anything, but it was a significant enough improvement to spark my interest in developing this as a business. So did a little bit of research, went out, did an internship with the boys out at Float On in Portland, met with Pete O'Brien from At Peace Spas, and geez, it was probably within a year. Well, within 2 months of my first float experience, we were laying the groundwork for the business. Within 3 months, we had financing, and within a year, we were ready to go, but we had some delays with permits from the city. But September of 2016 is when we opened. We now own Float Frederick. We have 5 at peace float, what do we call them now? Tubs? Not tubs.
Cabins.
Cabins. 5 at peace float cabins, and we're open 7 days a week, and things are going great. So my experience has been that I'm a lot calmer since I'm able to float. My fuse has gotten a lot longer. I've always been pretty active fella, but the back injuries have kind of limited me in recent times. But I find if I float, I try to go in there at least once or twice a week. And the weird thing is, I've been busy this last week or so, and it's kind of like, I work out a lot, and when I don't work out, I feel sore. And it's kind of gotten to the same thing with floating. When my body just knows it's time to float, I feel a little run down and sore, and I go in and float, and I feel better. So it's really just become part of my lifestyle now, and I'm happy that we're able to bring it to other people. And I hope that other people have an open mind, more open-minded than I was. But I think I'm probably a good example of a practical, reasonable person trying and finding success with floating. And I think that's about it, isn't it?
It's a good story.
It's a good story. I guess that's any other. Do you have a question for me or anything?
How often do you float?
I try to float twice a week. Um, Sometimes life gets in the way and I'm not able to do it twice a week, but I try to get in there on Mondays and Thursdays. That's been my schedule, but sometimes life happens like it has in the past week or so. But I floated last night, just did some renovation work and some furniture moving this weekend, and I'm pretty certain if it wasn't for floating, I'd still be hurting. But I came home yesterday. Um, Yesterday morning, I felt kind of run down and beat up, and I floated last night, and I feel good now. The end.
The end.